everyone. Welcome to Gadget Talk, brought to you by the Geocache Talk Network. I am so excited to be here, and this is just going to be a really busy week for all of us here on the network. But before we even get to that, Chad, how's your week going, man?
It's going great. A little busy at work, but I'm so excited about this weekend. Obviously, hopefully everybody knows that on the 30th, this Saturday, will be Worldwide Cache Con.
That's right. That's this weekend, January 30th, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So set your clocks accordingly. So, Chad, you're starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Jesse says that the best time for him is at 9. So that's when his is starting. And other people on the East Coast wake up a little bit later, so theirs starts a little bit later. So that's in the U.S. And if you're in another country, some of you are going to be waking up really early, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Australia is like 2 a.m. or something like that is what I heard.
Yeah, but isn't that like your normal time you wake up, Chad?
Well, me, yes. But, yeah, I don't know how many people do that. Not many people are crazy like me.
No, not at all. So, but before we get into anything else, and we got a little bit more about CacheCon right when we come back, but we have to, of course, go and help with our sponsors and some other stuff that we got to take care of.
If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache Talk website, or head over to patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the now famous blackout coins and other geocaching items during the year. Support levels start as low as the Bison Tube level, which is only $3 a month.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
All right, Chad. And you know what I've been seeing a lot of on Facebook and Instagram and all that? I've been seeing a lot of these coins. And everybody, I got mine, Chad's got his, and so if you haven't gotten your Gadget Talk coin or any of the other coins for the network, go on to geocachetalk.com and go to the store, and there's a lot of different stuff. And Chad, you know a bit more about the packages than I do. Tell them a little bit about those packages.
Yeah, so if you go on there to the store, you can get the coin by themselves, or you can actually get the coin, shirt, and a decal on there, and it ends up being a little bit cheaper if you buy the whole package deal. There, and it's actually kind of cool because I've actually seen some posts online with our shirts on them. They had nothing to do with the show, right? Someone posted them geocaching and just happened to see a photo of it, and it had one of our shirts on it. So that's really cool.
Right.
So yeah, go on and advertise or get your coin and your shirt for your favorite podcast or all of them. It's up to you.
Right. And if you want to kind of roll the dice, hey, this weekend, Worldwide Cache Con, there's going to be some prizes up, and I'm really excited, and I've been working really hard with it. In fact, as much as I want to be on here with you guys tonight and with Chad, I got to call in a pinch hitter because I'm working on a lot of stuff for everybody for CacheCon right now and trying to get a lot of the videos up there. Let me tell you, it is so much fun seeing a lot of these videos, and you will not want to miss CacheCon. There is so much going on this weekend from the Gadget showcase. That's going to be really cool. The HQ tour, holy cow, it's going to blow your mind. There's some really cool stuff that you're going to see in that. Brian talking, our keynote speaker talking, really great. And just so many different videos from coming around all around the world. You do not want to miss this weekend's CacheCon. It is going to be phenomenal. And there are so many different prizes that you can win on different hours that you can do. And I believe that you guys announced it the other night on the Sunday show. You have an opportunity to win an Adventure Lab, and that's really cool. And you'll find out how that's all going to happen on Saturday, so you don't want to miss it. But unfortunately, like I said, I can't be here. I really would love to be here because I've seen a lot of these caches in the emails, and I cannot wait to see these caches in person. But you guys have done a phenomenal job creating these caches, and this show tonight is all about you. So I'm bringing in the pinch hitter right now. So here he is.
Large pepperoni, sausage, bacon. Oh, hey, hang on. I'm on a show now. I'm sorry. Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome, Gary.
Caught me ordering pizza.
Hopefully, I thought you were ordering for Derek since he has to be up all night editing.
I am. I'm sending it. I'm sending it toward Tennessee. So hopefully, it'll keep him going.
Coming from Texas to Tennessee. That's a little long way for me.
A little cold.
Well,
Yeah, because last night I was up I went to bed this morning about 2:30, working on all the different stuff. Back up at 7:30, ate breakfast and was back at it at 8, and been at it all day. And
you're doing great.
Going to be back into it again tonight, getting everything ready. So you guys have a great show. Absolutely love every one of the viewers that are watching and those that are listening. And I am so proud of as hard as they've been working to get this CacheCon going and a lot of great videos. So like I said, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, but good night, everybody. And you guys have fun and enjoy getting these caches.
All right, thank you, Derek.
Bye, Derek.
Well, that's what happens when you're so good at editing videos and doing what you do. Is you get stuck.
You get moved to a priority of doing that. So Pizza Ninja want to know if I'm sending a pizza. Yes, Pizza Ninja, I'm sending pizza to New York. So you're all set, buddy. And yeah, I did keep Tom up half the night working on a puzzle. Which, come on, Tom, you're supposed to have finished it by now. I gave you all the clues you needed. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it worked. It really works out it works out for everybody. We really need Derek focused on at least for a while. He's got a lot. He's been doing a lot, but 8 hours of editing is a lot of work. So,
well, he's editing my film work, which I know is a lot of work. I'm not a video photographer, person. So, I feel sorry for him that he actually has to take care of that. But I did see some of what he's done, and it looks great. It looks amazing. Yeah, so
it does.
A great job.
And no, Adi, the show just started. Derek had to leave, but the show must go on.
Yes. So tonight we are going to talk about cachers or listeners' caches. So they've been sending me in, all you listeners have been sending me in some caches or pictures of caches and also some questions as well. And so we're going to go over those and then, obviously ask any questions that you have on anything. And if you're listening to this, it's going to be kind of hard to see the photos that we'll show of the caches. But we'll describe them the best we can.
Yeah.
Here.
You got a bunch too. When you told me you were going to be doing this, I thought, oh, okay. But
yeah,
you got a lot of them.
Yeah, there's quite a few that have been sent to me. And I know I'm not going over the ones that were shared before. We've done a few of them on previous shows, but
keep them coming then, folks. Keep those pictures of gadget caches coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And we're really happy to see what you make. It's nice to hear that, you got some inspiration from some of our builds that we've done here on the show. And then some of them are, your version of some kind of a takeoff of what we've done. You just you made it your own, which is what we want. And I love to see the different direction you take the build into. So
yeah, I like that.
First we'll start with a question here, from Dan. He has a question regarding a design. And so I'm looking at this and without seeing a picture of it, let me pull up the design here.
Yeah.
Without seeing a picture of exactly how he wants to do this, he's looking at, his question is, he's certain on this design. So it's a puzzle that I'm thinking you use a momentary switch on, a magnet that he has a reed switch here and a momentary switch. And so I'm thinking the reed switch will activate the 12-volt latch and open the door. And then once that's open, the limit switch or the momentary switch will actually close the circuit. So your 12-volt lock doesn't overheat, because that will stay on and it will get hot and burn out. I guess this question is how to reset that. the puzzle when he's done. So if you have to move something in a certain area, or a cacher does, how do you have that reset without asking the cacher to do it for you? I'm not sure without seeing a picture of it.
Right.
I'm hoping that he mentioned to me, he sent, I didn't download that part. He said it was a puzzle, and I believe it's just moving a magnetic. I don't know if it's moving a magnet around something here. I'm not 100% sure on what he's talking about, but the only thing I could think of on here for resetting the whole puzzle, if you're watching the chat there, I don't know if anybody's bringing anything up here.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
Okay. I'm not sure how you would do it without asking the cacher to reset the puzzle. If you're doing something that's like a ball, let's take this back down here. If you're doing something that's like a ball that would go past it, that would just pop it, then the ball could obviously go down, and you could put a flap there. So if you're using one of the heavy metal balls, like a ball bearing,
right? So, excuse my ignorance on this, but he's worried about the door like not being closed at the end. I mean, my initial thought is that you said he's worried about. Well, forget the reset part for a minute, but do you really want there to be two breaks when you got a read switch and a momentary switch?
So what it is resetting. So how to reset the puzzle. So when the door shuts, it doesn't just pop out back open, because then if you shut it, it'll reactivate the door.
Oh, okay,
and he actually is on here on the chat. And it seems like the puzzle's a cryptex.
Yeah, Dan's saying that's puzzles of cryptex. But it might be his.
If anybody has an idea on this, send us an email and we'll send it off to Dan. And I'll think about this. I sent it off to actually Dave Wagner as well, just because he's really good at these. But anyways, we'll have to see how to reset it.
Is the cryptex then, Dan, is it built in to the gadget, or do you pull the cryptex out separate and you're worried about, I assume it's part of the gadget. So Dave is saying, can the door disrupt the puzzle read switch?
And I think, let me pull that picture back up. It does when it's open. There's a momentary switch at the bottom that I'm imagining is closed when the door is closed. Right. So when the read switch activates, it will pop the latch, but then the read switch, the momentary switch, opens. So then you cut your negative line, and so if someone leaves, whatever, a read switch would be magnetic. If someone leaves that magnet on there, it doesn't burn up your latch. But I think the idea is, how do you reset the read switch or that magnet so that when they shut the door, it just doesn't pop back open?
Yeah. Dan says, picture a bar in the silo is the cryptex. That's cool. I like that.
So anyways, if anybody has an idea on that, we can come back to that later on, put it in the chat. But I would say that you would have to either have the cacher remove whatever is which activating the read switch,
right?
Either before they leave or before they shut the door to reset it. That's one of the biggest questions on Gadget Cache builds.
Yeah,
is how do you get cachers to reset the puzzle properly? You could probably end up doing it with an Arduino, using an Arduino, so it automatically resets itself. But I don't know again exactly. Well, he's using a cryptex, so.
Yeah, because
sure.
The one thing, as you know, and everybody or most people are probably listening now know, is that as much as we love other geocachers, you have to assume that they're not going to put everything back the way it's supposed to be, and they're just going to walk away. I thought of it the other day too, is that wherever you put a cache, think of a herd of elephants coming by that area. So if it's not in the right location, because you have to think about I guess sadly, the worst case scenario, what happens to, but batteries can be replaced, but still you hate to do that when you don't want to. I think that's why you guys talk a lot about having ones that don't stay on all the time.
Right. And that the way he has that set up, it would kill the power because on the 12-volt latch there, it will overheat and burn up if you leave power to it. So the way he has it set up there is actually really cool because it does kill the power. So Dave here says it moves the magnet when the door's open. So maybe when you open the door, you have to end up resetting it to have the door open. Something like that.
Yeah. Adi suggests about removing the battery. I know that's that's ideal. I mean, but you kind of hope people will do that. I know. I try to remember. I know I actually did one of Adi's and was able to hunt around the cache and found a battery, and then tried to put I try to remember put the battery back where I found it, which was around the corner of the from the it was on the cache, was around the side of the thing. But I don't know. Like you said, people aren't always going to do that. They're going to forget or don't care and whatever.
Or they get excited and
they're in a hurry.
So, yeah.
Dan says he can have 2 opposing magnets. It pushes it back down away from the reed, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess how is that being activated? So someone has to just bring their own magnet. To me, that's if they have to use a handheld and just run it along the front of something until it activates. As soon as they pull their magnet off, it'll reset. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
So,
like said, let's.
We'll move on to another one here, and we can come back if someone mentions something here.
They can always send that to gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Yes. And Dan sent that to us there.
Yeah.
So just finding our way. We'll go on to some of his.
Okay.
Here. Sorry, I have a iPad with everything on it, so I can keep track of what photos go with which. So this one here, most of his caches are puzzle caches rather than gadget caches. And often he used stuff that he runs across sitting around to make the caches. This one here is called Double Jeopardy, and it looks like it's at a fire station.
Oh, very cool.
What the front of it looks like.
Rapid response sensor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, if you have a lock on it, is it really how rapid response is that?
don't
Someone got me on that on something too.
I
think it's cool.
It is.
I did the same thing. I put a lock on something and called it rapid response, and everybody said that's the opposite of rapid response.
Yes,
but anyways, and this is outside of a fire station at a Chiefs Park Rangers office, and it has. The police department parking lot was too small. So it used to be at a police department parking lot.
Oh, okay.
And so this is the final at the fire department cache. So this is what the front of it looks like, and this is what the inside looks like here.
Oh, wow.
So we don't want to give anyone any puzzles or any way that you do it, but this is what one of his caches look like.
Oh, neat.
And that's when he actually gave a GC code to.
Cool.
Which is GC7CNP9. Or P4. He has 2 on here.
GC7 NP9?
Yeah, NP49, and then he has a GC6YPQ6. So it must be 2 different caches, I'm thinking. But that is one of his caches there at Double Jeopardy that he's made. And then here's another one that he's made, and this one is GC72WGF. It's logical pairs, and so it's in a library cache. Let me pull it up here. In a reference book drawer, and the word book of cheese until the branch campus removed it. So it was in a book, a reference book, under the word book of cheese. And then when the branch closed, they obviously had to remove it. So in that you would find a floppy disk, and that would open it up, open up the back.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
of the cache. So using the
Nice.
floppy disk, I guess it must be right there. You can see the floppy disk in the front.
Yeah.
Must be when you put it in, it would open it up.
I
So
wonder how
that's
many
really
people-
cool.
I wonder how many people walked into the library and walked up to that thing and goes, "Oh, push no, what is this?
Yeah,
Why does
that
this
to
computer
get a
work?"
it looks like an old Mac.
It does. Yeah, I
Or
used to have a Mac
something.
like that.
Just to have them let that sit out, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He has another one here that he made called Just a Plain Old Cache, which is really cool because it's an old plane.
Oh yeah,
And
plain.
it looks pretty simple. Nothing too gadgety about it. It looks like a creative cache, and he's rolled a hole in the back of the plane where the looks like the bolt would go, and put the bison tube on that. So that's pretty cool.
He just finding a way says all the young folks don't get it. I think they don't get either the Mac, the old Mac, which I used to I had one of those kind of Macs, or they're also not going to get the plane because how many people that don't do woodworking know what a plane is other than an airplane,
Right. This would be cool in like an antique shop.
Yeah.
Store.
Yeah.
If you had it sitting in, like, of course, you can't put a cache in the store.
I love that.
If you had it somewhere where they had a bunch of antiques or old things like that, that'd be kind of cool. There's
you have it sit in plain sight. Get it? Oh, Dan, that's from Dan, not me.
And then he has, so that one there, the plain one is GC86AP1, called Just a Plain Old Cache. And next, he has one. It's the geocache code is GC8Q6AG, and it's called Unhinged. And so it looks like an idea. It's an idea he toyed with a combination of a latch mechanism that Derek published on his cache or on his channel earlier this last spring. Like nearly all of my more challenge builds, it lives on a private property light pole. And so this, you find that right one there.
Cool.
So that is that one. And then
great.
Yeah, and I don't have anything of the inside of this one, but that looks pretty cool. And it looks pretty official. With the sign on it and everything. So that's pretty cool. A lot of my caches have signs on them. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
He has another one here called
I was saying
Just
for the audio listeners, it does look like some type of electrical box on a pole, but it has no wires coming out, of course. But it's got a danger on it that's very looks very standard looking, like like it really is something you're not supposed to mess with unless you're a cacher, right? So
yeah, and it looks like he actually covered up his hose clamps. Looks like he covered up the screws with something, so it's hard to get at him to take it down.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, you got to think of those things. You got to think about what people do. I've heard that people will use different types of screws, so it's not just a standard Phillips where people can, or standard or Phillips, but they'll use other things to try to slow them down and hopefully thwart their.
So what I see from this picture, which is interesting, is there's a lot of hinges.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I wonder what they all do. That's pretty cool. Even the front door has 6 hinges. I'd imagine there was 8. I wonder how you even get into it.
Yeah, that's what GT Buzz 82 says. That it says lots of hinges. Yeah, now they don't. It could be false hinges too.
Yeah, red herrings make you think that it does more. So that's really cool. That would be a really cool one to have with some kind of RFID card that you'd have to find or something somewhere on the light pole or a different light pole, and then we'd have to carry it over to scan it on there. So that's a really cool cache.
Like that idea.
The next one he has is GC8VPEB. It's called Well, Just Beware. So Well, Just Beware. It's a result of seeing a sign in a shop in Seward, Alaska that turned into a cache behind a puzzle to reduce the traffic. Let me pull it up here. To reduce the traffic is likely going to be removed, so I can put the tribute cache there unless I can get another appropriate spot for it. So obviously you have to ask permission if you're going to bury it. I don't know where the container is on this, but it's a really cool sign that just says beware. Well, just beware. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's like a sign that I made for a cache, and I haven't put it out. It says notice, and then it says thanks for noticing this. Notice has been noted. Just fun things like that on caches or signs is really fun. So
yeah,
that's really cool.
Beware.
Anytime you can
dot.
Yeah, anytime you can bury a cache like that and put a sign on it, people don't bother. I have one right outside a huge homeless camp. It's never been bothered with. No one's ever touched it.
That's awesome.
Because I think everybody thinks it's an official thing, and it's just a sign with a big box behind it.
Right.
And then I have a red flashing light that runs on a battery that runs for months, and it just flashes on the back, just so it looks like it has some kind of sensor or something on it, but I've never had it bothered with.
Right.
Let's see here now. So that is John's just finding our way is his caching name.
Yep.
So we have another question here from Justin Fitzgerald. And I think his geocaching name is Pinballer.
Cool.
So he goes, my caching name is Pinballer. I like to build caches that involve plunging a ball vertically and having it land into a certain hole. Kind of like the attached picture. Which I should pull up.
Yep.
Right there. It would need something to sense it that will trigger the lock or code. And it's asking, I would love to see you guys take on a physical game like this cache. So this is really cool. You could absolutely have a certain number you'd have to get it into to actually activate something, and you could use a momentary switch that would activate it. It would just you'd have to put that switch inside that hole, whatever number you want to. When the ball drops down, it would roll over the switch and activate the latch. But that's really cool. I'd love to see a cache like that. So we might actually have to work on this for one of our builds. It'd be pretty simple.
Yeah, I like it. Some of those are, as all of y'all that make gadgets know, you kind of have to think of it so many different ways other than the standard, because you never know what somebody's going to do, or what they're going to attempt to do, so they don't break it.
Yeah, and some of these next ones we have here from Terry Whale. Is it Red Moby? Is his caching name? And he has sent in some photos of some caches that he's made out of birdhouses. Just read this here. So he likes to make them. He likes bats. He likes to make everything with bats on them. So this is a birdhouse cache that he's made here. And what you have to do is, I built the cache to put out, and now I want to put out the one with reed switches with voice modules. I have bats caches to put out where 9-volt battery lights up the bat eyes, and the red demon eyes give the combination to the lock. So I wonder if you have to look in here inside the hole of this cache, or use a reed switch or something to activate it. And then once it activates, when you're looking in that hole, we'll give you the lights inside the demon eye there will flash and give you the lock. And then once you get in, it looks like the skeleton actually has the cache inside of his mouth. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's little ones like this with all those designs and stuff that I get worried about, because I'm thinking someone walking by who doesn't know about caching or something is like, oh, what is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They want to look at it more, right? So it's not just your typical birdhouse. It's a lot nicer than a typical birdhouse. So
I wonder though, how does he say? I need to look. How does he illuminate the inside?
He doesn't. He just says a 9-volt battery lights up.
Oh, okay. 9-volt battery lights up the bat's eyes.
So I don't know if you have to bring your own. He talked in here that he's making them with reed switches and voice modules now. So maybe it's a reed switch. Maybe it's just the 9-volt battery you put in. I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'd imagine he probably has a couple lugs where you just touch the 9-volt battery to it, and it probably just activates the whatever's flashing the lights. Sometimes the simpler you can make them, the easier.
Well, he says the 9-volt battery lights up the bat's eyes. The red demon eyes give the combination to the lock. Oh, okay. So there's two parts to it. You see, so one of them would open the front door, and the second one is the combination to the lock. Am I not reading that right?
I don't know. Once you open the door, it looks like you have access right to the log.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know, but there's pictures of it. It's really cool. I like that. It's a good use of the LED flashing lights for the combination.
You guys always talk about, or not always, but I know you guys are big on using. I mean, 9 volts are nice because they're easy to use, but they of course wear out pretty easily. I mean, they're handy to have. I mean, would it be? Do you guys typically leave them? I mean, do you try to leave one behind? I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I guess you tell people, like, do you on yours, Chad? Do you put a note that says, "Please bring a 9-volt battery to this cache," kind of thing? Just
first line says this cache requires a 9-volt battery. You must bring your own. Is the first thing on the first line on the cache description. And I still get people that show up and hey, I can't find the battery. Well, you have to bring your own.
You bring your own.
I try and get away from having people provide 9-volt batteries because a lot of people don't carry 9 volts or just don't have them in general laying around their house, and they have to go to the store, and 9-volt batteries are like $5 now.
They can be pretty expensive. Well,
yeah. And so I've had people put in there, I had to go spend $5 just to find this cache,
Try to find a 9-volt battery try to find a 9-volt battery in Colby, Kansas. Let me tell you. If you're coming to Mingo Madness right now, you're going to Mingo Madness, because I know you're going. You need to start putting stuff away that you're going to bring to the event. And the first thing you need to do is make a little pile somewhere of stuff you're going to bring to the mega. The first one you're going to bring is a 9-volt battery. So start making your pile of stuff to take with you. And the first one is a 9-volt battery, because you're not going to find one in town. I mean, you're going to be driving a ways to get one. So always put one in your back, in your caching bag. So
something that I carry in my bag now would work on these LED light batteries.
Yeah.
If it has to have 9 volts exactly, it wouldn't work. But are these they come in AA and AAA packs, and there are 4-pack of AA or AAA. You put them in there, and it has a 9-volt connector.
Yeah, I love that.
Then you just have to carry, AA's, and it will work for 9-volt or whatever, which most cachers, especially if you're old school and you're doing it with a GPS, you probably have some batteries in those that you can take out. So,
I think that's the next. Well, hopefully everybody's got one of those. Those are handy to have, like you said, Chad, is to have that. And Pear Rabbit says that. He says, I avoid the 9-volt. So few people have need for one. Better to use a AA holder built onto the gadget and bring your own battery. That boy. Yeah, I like those. I know Dave mentioned, I think the first time I'd seen one, or I would or at least the discussion. I remember the discussion that Dave had early on in Gadget Talk about a year ago now, which was to have that, because it's so much more efficient of a battery source is to put those AA's into that holder, which has a 9-volt connector on it. So much better to carry around with you.
Yes, unless you need exactly 9 volts, and it wouldn't work. I also have these 9 volts here. It's probably hard to see.
Oh, yeah.
These are rechargeable. You just plug them in to a micro USB, and you can charge it in your car or whatever. And so I just keep this in my pack as well.
Nice.
So, anyways, there's a few different options. But so, anyways, I try and get away from 9 volts altogether.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there.
So we did the one there, and there we just have a few other photos of some of his other caches here. Which these ones here will incorporate the sound modules and the reed switches. So we did the sound modules. We talked about them a few shows back,
right?
And using reed switches and all that stuff. So these ones here that he's making, and again, he likes bats, so they'll have bats on them. These will have the sound module and the reed switch, which is a good way, because if you have a reed switch, you have someone bring their own magnet. They just have to find the sweet spot on the cache to activate the reed switch, and then the house itself would tell you, or the cache, what the code is to open it. So that's kind of a fun little way to change from using LEDs just to using a voice. And so here's another one. And I think if I went to a cache and it started talking to me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like he's very artistic. I love his doings of the birdhouses, pretty standard birdhouse, but yet he changes it up. If you noticed, go back to the one before that. He's got some different variations on sort of variation on a theme there, but he's got the lock on the outside of that one at a certain location, and then the next one, he switched it up, and it's got numbers all over it.
So I'm thinking this is a reed switch where you have to either hit certain numbers, either to make an LED light up to get the code, or talk to you. But what's confusing to me is you have all these bolts at the very bottom, which to me seems like if you would have to complete a circuit to make something light up. So those could all be red herrings too.
It does look like that, doesn't it? It looks like two of them are probably connected together. You just got to figure out which two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep, Dan, you are correct. I'm starting to think he likes bats. I agree. I think you're onto something.
Yes. And so we have Terry Whale, who did those bat ones as well.
Yeah.
He back in November he did one. And so Terry's from the UK.
Cool.
And so his first cache that he did, it looks like here, from us is GC8YM2K. And so he did this. Sorry,
in the show notes too, or not the show notes, but in the chat just for people can play along.
So he works with kids with learning disabilities, and one of them passed away, and so he actually made this cache for the kid because he really liked it.
Wow!
I made this cache for the kid who passed away, and it's using balloons.
Thank you for your work and your service there. Oh, he's on the Isle of Wight. That's cool.
I don't see it on here. You see the balloon cache?
Yeah. Did you not? Maybe you didn't upload it. Let's see. It's the light blue one.
Yeah, here. I can show a picture.
Well,
my iPad just went away.
I can do it too if you need me to.
Yeah, do you have a picture there to show?
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. Show you. How's that?
Oh yeah, there you go.
That.
So that's what it looks like. It looks like one. He didn't say exactly how you open it. But it looks like magnetic code decipher.
Yeah, I like it.
Themed around the life of Stefan.
It's very creative.
So that was the gentleman the kid who passed away. He works with adults with disabilities, so it must have been
Yeah.
gentleman who passed away. So
Can't really see it on the show, but as you look at it, all those balloons have numbers. So, and there's numbers that are not even inside the balloons. So, and then he has a dog. There's a dog who's looking up. So, I mean, there's a lot of clues. Lots of. There's some that are star-shaped balloons. They're different colored balloons. They're different. The colors are each of the numbers. Some of them are red. Some are white. So there's a lot of possible. And there's a big star on the top. So I mean, he's got it so that there's a lot. There's a lot of clues to go through, which is cool. I like that.
it's cool.
Yeah,
Should be pretty fun.
yeah,
Pretty fun to find.
yeah. I have one in town where you're supposed to. Well, if you want to get the combination, you have to look at the outside of the birdhouse, and I give the clues in the cache description, but sure enough, I have people all the time who are like, "Oh, I don't quite get what's going on." I'm like, "Okay, look at the capitalized words in the description," and they do, but then they forget, or some reason they don't put two and two together, and they go, "Oh, I know what the combination is," and they're not looking at the container. I think so often I think people get ahead of themselves sometimes. You probably got that on some of yours too, Chaz. People get, "Oh, I know what it is," and it's like, it's not working. It's like, well, no, what exactly are you doing? No, you got to look at what you're doing here.
Yes, I get that all the time, and because I put my number on there too, and so people text me all the time about that. But just earlier today, I got a text that says, "Help! I'm at such and such cache, and I can't find it." Well,
can't find
giant box. It's this one's it's 2 foot by 2 foot by like 8 inches deep. Yeah, and there's a big sign on it. Literally, it says Geocache. I don't know how you miss it. So
not sure how you miss something like that, but if you're new.
Yeah, and he did mention he was new, but then I'm thinking that one there is probably one of my hardest ones to find.
Oh wow!
So because it's 2 steps. You have one step just to get to the key, and then another step to get inside, or then once you're inside, you have another step to get to the cache.
The cache, right?
But it's fun reading the logs afterwards, especially if they're brand new.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love when it's, and that's the other thing about gadget caches. You can kind of even take it one step further and make them a little bit even, hidden in plain sight kind of thing to make it. Well, I know a lot of yours are hidden in plain sight, but that's like the one that this one. This is it's a bounce original that I got from you. And sure enough, I got more people who are like, "Oh, I need to get a picture. I'll show you. I got to take a picture out there too of it in the wild." But people are like, "I can't find it. I can't find it." I'm like, "There's nothing on that fence except for this Greenville Fence Company. It's got the GC code too." But
it's good. People can go find it then.
Yeah, people can go find it. Go find this cache. But the funny thing, come all the way to Greenville and do it. But what's funny is that I get more people who are like, "Where is it? Is it still here? It's not." I've even had people go, "It's gone." I go, "Really? It's gone? Are you sure?" And you're like, "No, I don't think it's gone." I go check. I can just drive by and make a quick loop around the location and then leave. And I go, "Yep, still there." And they're like, one lady, she's still, now she's fairly new, I think, to the sport, but she can't for the life of me find this thing. And I thought, "Oh, that's cool." I mean, in a sense, I've given her plenty of clues. So
I'm actually surprised you haven't earned more favorites on them than what you have, but
I've got quite a few. Have you looked at it lately?
I haven't lately, no.
Not many people find it because not many people in our area, find caches, but
yeah,
I love it. I love the extra. If you hide a gadget cache, you kind of want to think that extra step. To me, obviously you want to make sure the Gadget Cache works flawlessly, but to make it blend in to wherever you're going to put it, oh, that's genius. That's even more genius.
Yeah, that's why you got 2 of them, because I built one and I didn't like the way it works. I built another one.
Yeah,
for you. So
and now if it ever gets muggled, I got an extra.
Yeah. Perfect. Now let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the brand. So the next one is actually from. Do you know how to say their cache name? Jamie. I'm the worst at reading the names. Dramana.
Oh no, Motorima.
I was way off. That's why I don't like reading these.
You're fine.
But anyways, he actually built one off of our flashing lights, the Arduino based flashing light one. And so when he built it, he put it in a fake rock. This is what the fake rock looks like. Underneath, he has actually one of the real estate boxes, key boxes underneath, which is great. That's an expensive cache. Those things are like $30 to $40 just for that lock system. So,
right.
And then he has the Arduino with the LEDs. Oh man, I keep using my mouse to point to stuff on the screen. But he has the LEDs there on the right-hand side, and then your 9-volt battery there. And once you connect it, over here on that
over
side
here on that part.
Once you connect it, it flashes the code, and then you have the code to the cache. So that's actually really cool. And he sent a picture of it in place in the wild.
Oh,
that's what it looks like. Which that looks
awesome,
crazy real.
I mean, that is so hidden in plain sight. That the rock is in that little area there, and you can't tell anything. You can't tell that is a great rock.
Yeah, I mean and it looks like it's built out. It looks like it's fiberglass.
Yeah, probably so. But it's very well done. I mean,
that's cool. So, and that one, I don't know if I gave the GC number 2. If I have it,
I put it in the chat.
You did. Okay.
GC8Z, as in zone, and J as in Jasmer, 97.
Nice. And it's called Rock This Town. The name of the cache.
Awesome.
So that's really cool. And that looks like, is that all the ones that I have on here?
Yep. Thanks, Jamie. Jamie was one of the first ones to build, like I said, about a year ago when Gadget Talk started. Jamie was one of the first. Remember, you? I think it was after the first show. You asked people if they would, if they build it, then you wanted to see photos. I think he was one of the first ones. One of the first. Now you've gotten, of course, several that have built.
And those ones I didn't put up here, and those ones I believe our first 3 people that hit them or they went live got free shirts, right?
Yeah,
free Gadget Talk shirts.
Yep.
So, there's been several of them that are still live. I follow every one of them that I have up there,
awesome.
just to see the logs on them, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
So
you guys are killing it. You're doing great. Gadget Talk podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you send it in, if you want to give us a little more detail on how it works, if you want pictures of the inside or even maybe the mechanism, we don't want to give a hint on how to get into it. We don't want to ruin it or give any spoilers, but it's kind of nice to put in there, using Arduino based or using Arduino RFID card, read switches, any kind of detail you can kind of give us to try and explain it. That helps out quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. I think I'm getting a couple emails right now, but
while you're doing that, if I could, I would like to plug the Gadget panel and showcase, and that'll be at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday during Worldwide CacheCon. So for all you Gadget Talk fans, you definitely want to join us. At least, I probably can't sit there for 8 hours and watch every one of them, although it'll all be indexed in the future, once the thing's over. So if you want to go watch a certain hour, you will be able to, afterward. But if you want to be here live, then you want to watch the Gadget Showcase hour, it's the 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find the schedule here, geocachetalk.com/WWCC21, Worldwide CacheCon 21. And I know you and Derek have been working hard on that hour, and always fun to see things like that. And so, yeah, that's gonna be a very cool hour, the 3 p.m. Central Standard Time hour.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. And also, I have a few other ones that were sent to me, but I always ask back if it's okay to share them on the show, and I haven't received an answer. So, make sure if you do send us something, tell us it's okay to share on the show, because I don't want to give spoilers away. Sometimes people just want to show us, everybody else. So, make sure you mention that in there.
Darren says lots of coffee to stay awake all night, or Darren, you could go to bed early and get up at 2 a.m. Sorry about that. That we tried to it's hard to it's a good problem to have, is to have a worldwide event, but it's hard to plan for the unless you do 24 hours. It's kind of hard to do an event for. So I think for them it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. One of the two. I'm trying to remember. Depends on where you are in Australia, but somewhere in the middle of the night it's going to start, and we'll finish at 7 p.m. Central. Again, set your clocks correctly. Oh, thank you, my friend. He says, well worth it. Yeah, it's Dan.
For coffee, that's funny.
For coffee. Wouldn't it be great to have that GC number? Boy, you would never ever give it away. That would be one that you'd want to keep forever. I don't care what happens to that cache. I'm keeping that GC for life. But it's there's a lot of already know. And again, we miss Derek tonight, but he is working hard, putting everything together. And there is a lot that we're going to provide that is worldwide. We've got items. We have parts of the show, parts of the conference are going to be from people in Australia, New Zealand. Got a couple different ones in New Zealand, a couple different from Australia that have been provided. Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, France, Spain. We've got them from many different countries. I can't even mention them all. There's so many of them. Those are the ones just pop in my head as we're going through it. But they're a lot of that was part of the point, I guess, was we wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a U.S. CacheCon. It was worldwide. So we really focused on making sure that we had information and people on who are from all over the world. Yeah,
I think we did a pretty good job with that. So
yes, we did.
I've seen some of the videos, and it's going to be good. It'll be fun. And it's the first year of it. The word will get out, and if we do it again, I'm sure it'll be even bigger. A lot more people.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to the part. We're not giving any spoilers away, but I know you were able to do some headquarters work that is really cool because nobody right now can go to headquarters, and you were saying beforehand that it was kind of eerie going there with normally there's nobody there pretty much, and then you said there was people there just because they're having a meeting.
Yeah, they said they had a meeting. I think I saw 5 people.
Right, and the only reason those 5 were there is because they had a meeting that day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they probably wouldn't even be there. So,
yeah, half the lights were off, and it was different. I've been to HQ quite a few times, and first time I've seen it like that. So,
yeah, thanks, Chad. North Dakota is well represented on Saturday, and Pacific Northwest, lots of different parts of the U.S. are part of the got some love for this event, but yep. Gilby does qualify as a country. Well, yeah, it's kind of a part of our U.S. Representation.
Yep. And if anybody goes to HQ next year, if they do have the event this year or next time, if you ever go to HQ to the visitor center, you'll actually be able to discover this custom travel bug here.
Love it.
It's kind of cool. If no one knows what it is, you've probably never watched Star Wars. But it's just signal frozen in carbonite. Everybody asked me what he did wrong.
Yeah,
how did they get one?
What did he do wrong? I guess you can't really show the other side of it. We'll show the other side of it Saturday.
I don't have it on the other side. The trackable number, it's actually off.
Yeah,
so they're like, how do you get one? So I say you go to HQ, you get your fob from HQ so you can track them.
You track them.
And once you find them, the only problem is they only pay out in Republic credits.
Yep, only in credits.
Yep. Hard to spend those, but whatever. It's fun to get them.
Yeah, I mean, who's taking Republic credits anymore? I mean, you can't do that. You gotta have some tangible money. Those, I mean, Republic credits, that's no good.
The Republic is over. Well,
Star Wars nerds, Chad and I.
It doesn't hover, but I did think about using a cart with a green screen part on it to bring it in. And I was thinking about, this one HQ wants, so, and they want this one because it's going to be on Worldwide Cache Con.
Yeah.
So I'll probably make another one for the May the 4th event. And I thought about having some people dress up as stormtroopers or a Mandalorian and bring it in. I think that'd be kind of cool. So
yeah, I love it. That is so awesome. Yeah, that one's going to be on permanent display. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when they first saw it, they thought it was only like a foot tall.
Yeah.
And they saw it. They're like, wow, that's a lot bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
But anyway. Well, that's great. So remind everybody that Saturday the 30th, Worldwide Cache Con. Right?
Yeah.
AM Central.
Yep. And the biggest other thing too, and I can't emphasize enough, and that is, please tell people. I mean, the best way to advertise anything is word of mouth, and we can only get to so many people, but the people are listening or watching tonight, tons of people that we don't. And so it really is important, as a team of people, that either are, that really love Geocache Talk, please make an effort this week. Make yourself a note, put a reminder in your phone, or do it tonight. I don't, whatever works best for you to get the word out. Copy people on items, geocachetalk.com/WWCC21. If all the information is there, the schedule, the promos, the actual event link is there. The swag is still available up until right after the event. The day after that, it's is when they're going to close it up and finish off the orders. If I could show that real fast as we're getting to that point, so there's the schedule. There's the swag button.
Pull it up. You got to pull it up, Gary.
Oh, did I not pull it up? Sorry. There we go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, so send people here, Worldwide Cache Con, to this location. It gives them all the information. If they're like, what's going on? There's Brian's announcement that I'm pointing to. There's a promo that you can share. There's a share button right there. Click right there. Send that to people if people want to watch a short video on it. The link, there's the link. And it currently says live in 3 days. So we're getting close. There's the swag button right there. It's a picture of everything. When you click on it, you get to the whole. If I can click on it, takes you to GC swag right there. So let me put that in the banner real quick. So people want to buy the coins. There's the gcswag.com/WWCC21 coin, shirt, and you can get a combo. If you do the Friends of, you do get a special edition coin. You obviously get the regular coin, the shirt, but you also get a special edition gold version. Ooh, gold. Cool.
So there's 3 different color coins, correct?
I think there's 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
So gold and silver, nice.
Yeah, the gold one, and then there's the regular silver version. The schedule. Then our sponsors, please make if you don't patron these sponsors, at least maybe send a note thanking them for helping sponsor this conference. There's Logwork, which is Gadget Talk's anchor sponsor. There's a word for you, but lots of sponsors. I mean, so cool to have geocaching as an official sponsor. And then there's all the different sponsors we've gotten who are be involved. I got some more to put on there too. And there you go. I've got a countdown clock: 3 days, 12 hours, 58 minutes, and 24 seconds, and counting. So there you go.
That's cool. I'm excited.
There's my spiel.
Yep, that's gonna be fun. So,
yeah.
And I would say when Brian taped his interview or the closing or opening, he actually had behind him in a frame the napkin.
Yes.
That had the whole concept, and I actually meant to go over that, tell him, hey, you need to put that in there, and we just started talking, and I completely forgot. So it'll be nice in the future. We'll have to have him do one on that.
Yeah,
show that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So next week we'll be doing a small build as well for our podcast there, cool. Which is like my iPad went to sleep. I don't have the date right in front of me. It was on my iPad.
Oh, the date?
Sorry, the 2nd. Next Tuesday, the 2nd. We'll be doing just a small little build. Nothing fancy. We're still working on we're all busy from the Worldwide CacheCon getting ready for it. So not as busy as Derek, but so it'll be a small one. We'll go over stuff. Maybe y'all can go over this a little bit more.
Sure.
With people once the code is shared on that. So and then if anybody has any questions or anything they want to share, send it in to us. We may have time next week to go over that. So awesome. Next Tuesday, February 2nd.
Awesome. Is that it?
Okay. That is it. Yep. I appreciate everybody joining us tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Here we go.